God for another day to be around you, to come in and visit with you out there in Violan, to give thanks for each and every hour of the day that I spend in His presence. So today we're talking about spring is here and let's get in gear. But it's a little more than that. I may have a guest coming in. She may come in and talk a little bit with us. I'm not sure yet. But when she comes in, we'll see. No point saying she's coming and she's not. But hopefully we'll see her. So today's the 5th of May. And today we talk about the day of May 5th. And it's about, I told you I was going to be giving you some of those names of God, unveiling the mystery of his names. And he is called Aye Mishavet Yehuda. And that means he's the lion of the tribe of Judah. According to Revelation 5:5, behold, the lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, had prevailed. And he prevails today, This is while Jacob's prophecy today, tribe of Judah, is also a prophecy concerning Christ, who will be the lion of the tribe of Judah. So you look at Genesis 49:8, and you'll see who would be victorious over all his enemies. Okay. He is who he says he is. Nothing less, nothing more. So today, as we talk about spring, finally, in spite of everything, it's late, but yet it is timely because of the times that we're living in. We have to expect anything because, we don't know the day, the hour, and the moment the Son of Man is going to appear. And when you look at the world today, you see all the things that are taking place within the church, outside of the church, within the world, outside. I also bring to your attention that this weekend, it's starting since last night, is the Liberal Party's convention for 2023. And they're looking at, what they do next. So we bring them and put them under the blood of Christ and in the hand of God for our leaders and our leader, our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, and Liberals. So whatever party is, and for those who are running for mayoral office for the province of Ontario, I bring all of you under God's eyes and knowing your heart, knowing your hearts, and that we will find the right mayor for Toronto, the right mayor with the right perspective and solutions for all the things that are taking place. And while we're doing that, we're talking about the missing children. All of these things are part of today. Okay. So let us talk about spring. More rain, the grass is greener, everything is moving. You can hear lawnmowers here, there, and everywhere. And tells us that the Lord has allowed us to enjoy spring. It might be late for many because we're not used to having cold weather, so much rain at this time, but all things are coming together according to his will, his purpose, and what he has in store for each and every one of us in this life. We don't know. Have we been doing according to his will? Yeah, I guess we have, according to how we think or we see it to be. So we put it before him. And for me, I would say we have a lot more work to do because a lot of things have come to slip through the cracks. But at the same time, we have to realize we're heading into the end of the Gentile age. So a lot of things are going to happen, and a lot of things are happening, And one of them is how time is moving, how the season is going, how the atmosphere is moving around. So have you got your plant pots and your soil ready for your little herb gardens and flowers, etc., etc., etc.? I hope you have, because I have my little ones waiting to replant them and get ready for spring, little bits and pieces here and there. So I have my little indoor ones that are good for you to sleep with them. You know, it's good for your breathing, takes away all the carbon dioxide and help to turn it into good oxygen for you at the same time. Okay, so get your spring pots ready and teach the children to do that for themselves, because you know they're breaking down the trees, all the different land masses that's supposed to remain so that it will absorb certain um, toxic chemicals that comes out of our bodies. All of that is being removed because people are looking in areas where they you know, they can make money. It's all about the money. They're not going to go in an area that has millions of trees and, you know, use a little area of it. But what can we say? It is what it is, and we're going to work around it. We're going to lift it up to the Most High, and He's going to help us to go through it as He always has and always will, until that time comes that He returns and His people and His will be the way He wants it. Okay. So, what is the what shall we get in gear for this time? It's spring. Where are you going? Are you planning for the springtime and the harvest time, springtime and harvest? Going up to the strawberry areas to pick up the strawberry patches. You know, they have places in Ontario where you can go and pick strawberries. So are you getting ready for that? Heading out to the Niagara Falls and the parks. And, you know, a couple of years ago, I went to a sand beach, okay, in Ontario. And it was amazing because you know, the tropics was right there. And the beach was right there. And the sand was like the sand we have in warm places. So in Canada, which is a country of mystery, we've got everything, all seasons in our 11 provinces and territories. Okay. So explore. There's something more for you to do, you know, so much to see. Although I haven't seen enough, but I need to see a lot more. All of North America, all of Africa. It's in my bucket list if God has a will and plan for me to do it all. So it's just one of those things. So plan, get your legacies going, get your thoughts in tune, and let's get spring. But while we're talking about spring, let's talk about our children out there and people that are missing and how we can help now that the weather is a lot better. It's more rainy, but walk with an umbrella or, you know, raincoat as you're wearing, and pay attention. Pay attention to your surroundings and the people that you see around. I'm not saying just sit and stare at them. Pay attention. If you happen to see something that isn't right, you know the right authorities to call, okay? Or to actually, you know, ask a person if you see someone that seems to be disoriented and, you know, lost their way. It could be a missing person. We have so many. It is imperative that we pay attention to the missing people every single day. This, as a matter of fact, there was a young man I saw recently on one of the police missing persons. He's back again, missing, a young kid. So we have to pay attention to what's happening outside. It's not just, you know, we get up and we go about our business and we don't think about the next person, because, you know, when it happens to you and I, we want someone to be in our corner to say, you know, what can I do? But let's try and see if we can pay attention to where the children are. And please talk to the kids. You know, as grown-ups, we need to let children know within the family structure, within the friendship structures, that they got to be aware of the dangers of the times that we're living. We're not living in great times, huh? We're not living in great times. God is good, the world is good, but it's what the people are doing. You know, humanity has gone from one extreme into more extremes. You know, our extremities are so chaotic, so chaotic. So we have to be ready and prepared for everything and anything that's coming down the pipeline. Okay, that's important. Minister Merle is not here today. She's also here. She's in Canada, but she's unavailable. Keep her in prayers, in your prayers and thoughts, and let the Lord deal with all the situations that we have. Pray for one another's families, one another's children, one another's grandchildren. That's what we are supposed to do. Pray one for the other, so that within our prayers, we get a blessing as well. It isn't just I'm praying for you, or you're praying for somebody else, but there are blessings that are coming from the prayers that we are exhibiting out there. Okay? So let's be prayerful. Let's be mindful. Keep people in their thoughts. Good thoughts. Good thoughts. Okay? Because we don't want the thoughts to come bounce back on us. That's the way it works, So let's get our thoughts together so that when we see each other, we're able to look at each other and say, yes, I prayed for you. And it's sincere and it's real and it's true. So the blessing is all mine from the Lord to you and to everyone else. So those who are celebrating birthdays today, anniversaries, happy birthday, happy anniversary. And for those who are sick, and we have a lot of people that are sick in all the hospitals, we pray for surgeries that they too shall come about and people are able to be able to get the surgeries that they require. It's important. These are important things that we have to deal with. Do you realize also it's spring, and as we're getting in gear, May, we just have how many days? 25 days left in May. And then school has the rest of June, and they're out for summer. So see how many things are popping onto us. Many events are coming up. There's all the Caribbean festivals over the summertime. Like long ago, I was very much involved in our cultural expressions in many different forms, and now it's coming. That's coming about too. Around the Caribbean, there's so many different events here and there. So all of those things. And in Canada, there's a lot of things happening too. There's plays and exhibitions and discussions, and get involved, get involved. And don't forget, most important, parents, school council is important to you for your children. Getting the help for your children to study is important, whether it's online, homeschooling, or it's in school. So put that together, get it all together for your children so that they will have the best education. Because education is important. It is important to have the knowledge of how you're moving along in life, and my coming to Canada was for that purpose, to extend my knowledge, my wisdom that God has given me. So I give thanks and rest in peace to my parents and grandparents who have backed me up and pushed me to my limits so that I will create limits for myself and my children and their children and their children's children. Because it's important. That is your education is the gateway. It's a learning. Life is learning. It's always learning something new every single day, experiencing something new every single. One day you get up, you're fine. The next day you're in pain. That's what it's all about. But when we're thinking about it, think about it positively, because negative thinking is not good for you. It's not good for the body that you have, because it doesn't just affect the mouth gate, it affects your body eventually. Okay. So only put the healthy things in the body. That will be a blessing to you. and to others out there. Nothing more. Because you don't want to be suffering with something and don't know how it, because you put it in your, everything we put out there, it's like planting seeds. We plant the seeds from our mouths, and those seeds grow. And you know how the seeds go, right? Some go in good ground, some in stubby ground, some just get choked, So plant good seeds when you open your mouth. Let it all be positive, kind, compassionate, and a blessing to somebody so that it will return back to you in the very same format. Okay? Plant well. Make sure the things that come to your air gates are things that are going to help. Unless it's a problem out there with someone who's in trouble, like we have our children out there missing and parents missing, people, suffering different ailments, and they walk away. A couple of days back, I was talking about, I repeat, that saw the man leaving the hospital. He left the hospital with a hospital gown on him. And nowadays we have mental illness. Everything is out there. Mental illness is the big thing in this world. But stress has always been the big thing. Don't stress yourself. Because you can only go do so much with anything that you have. So why stress yourself to the point? That's why you see the good word always tell us, why cry and why worry when you can pray? A lot of people don't want to hear the word of God, but prayer changes everything. It's a key. It manifests itself in positive things. It leaves you smiling and happy. So why not utilize it? You say, I don't believe in prayer. But you don't believe in prayer, but you're stressed. Well, you got to keep praying until the stress goes, okay? Because just scratching your head and say what next to do, pray. Lord, I can't take this anymore. Thy will be done. And it is done. Because you would find within the time that you're stressing yourself and you're going through, when you ask, he will start working on your behalf. And that's what he's there for. He is the Almighty. And nobody mightier than him. So why not go back to him? He is the one. He is the one. He is our key, our golden key to survival, the peace, prosperity, to engage in our behalf, our advocate against our adversaries. He's everything that you and I need. So I don't go anywhere else. I just put it all in his hand and his timing, and he will do it for you again and again. There's a song that says it as well. He will do it for you. Just take a look. Just hand it to him and take a look and see how he's doing it for you. Just give him thanks, and leave it there. And you can't give things to the Almighty and then add to it. He's Almighty. Leave it. Be quiet. Give thanks. Continue to pray. Bless those that hurt you, harm you, talk about you. Don't curse them, because they're not ours. They belong to God. We all belong to him. So he is the one that takes care of all the issues that we have during our lifetime. So we put all our issues in his hand. Okay? Leave it right there, leave it there, leave it there. Unto him that is able to keep us from falling, be all power and glory forever and forever. Amen. Amen. So, how do we get in there? Oh, by the way, I'm not sure if it's late, but I know a lot of parents whose, less, whose finances are not up, they don't have enough. But I know there were tickets giving out. I hope some of you were able, if you qualify for them, to pick up tickets to, take to the Toronto Wonderland and down on the islands and things at Harbourfront and, all these other things. And of course, Ontario Place is now contracted by a foreign body that is going to do a number of things. And apparently the Science Center is moving down there. But man appoints and God decides with the appointments what takes place at the end of the day. Sometimes we benefit from it, and sometimes we go through a rough season because of our decisions. So we have to realize all decisions have results. So what is your decision today? What are you deciding to do? I don't know. So I don't know if my guest is coming on today because she did say she was coming on, but anyway, if she doesn't come on, she'll come on another day, hopefully. She asked me to come on, so no problem. So over time, spring cleaning. Are you ready? Is your patio ready? Or the balconies ready? Do you know how you're going to put your layout? Are you having chairs, a chaise lounge, some pretty pillows, a nice place for relaxation? What are you having? Make sure it's beautiful. Maybe a bird planter. I mean, a bird feeder, sorry. So the birds may come and chirp around. Because this morning I saw, it was a cardinal. I have to remember that bird. A red cardinal. He comes on mornings and I can hear him on the trees outside of my room. And he was singing a little song. So the minute I got up off the bed and I went to the window, he jumped on a few branches and he left. So I said, good morning, good morning, good morning. So they're quite aware of you and I. And if you're blessed to see the cardinals and the robins and all the other birds zipping by, enjoy them because, everything is a season where we are. So enjoy the seasons and enjoy every moment of it, So, and don't forget Gem FM. I know we're coming up to, they have an annual picnic. I haven't been as yet. So I'm just reminding myself and reminding you that they do have an annual picnic. It's coming at the end of summer. So all of these things put on your calendar so you know what you're doing, Plan, go down to Hyde Park, nice place to go to. It's my children and I went when we were very young, they were very young. And guess what? It's always a nice visit to Hyde Park. I'm sure they do have people in the park so that your safety is, taken care of. But also do your own precautions. And if you're traveling around, don't forget your purses. It's good to get one of those with a strap across the body, and then, you don't have to be worried about anything else, but make sure the hand is always on it, just in case, you never know. I remember years ago when I lived in Montreal, there was a wave of crime. People will cut off the straps off of your purses. So moving forward, always be aware of the things that you have with you, your handbag, your scarves, your whatever you're using, the summer scarves or anything that you have in your hand, your keys or whatever. Just keep it put away and always keep your hands on them. So you're aware of it. It's not anything to fear, but it's your personal belongings. And so we are responsible for our belongings and therefore keep track of it. Don't forget, if you're leaving your homes, make sure if you have an alarm or whatever, make sure the doors are locked tight and there's no entry into it, So all of these things we require if traveling away, hopefully, and that you have that type of surveillance in your area so that they can see, even though there's surveillance, public surveillance, but your own personal surveillance. Make sure that your insurance is intact if you're traveling, because it's summertime, a couple months away. You want to be covered in all areas. So these are some of the things, when it comes to spring, summer, And now you can go for breakfast, or you can order something in, or cook something in. And if for us who are seniors, we can get together in different places. We can meet at the park, meet at a restaurant. But getting some fresh air somewhere, it's important that we do that. And also use the time, positively and effectively, because if you're home during the day, try and get out early, come back in, so that for those who have to work and leave and go to the stores and stuff like that, at least they have the time, so it's not loaded. You don't wait for the last minute. Go early. It's good to get up and get some air, fresh air, or get up and revive yourself. Revive yourself. You can go back and take your nap later on. Seniors are out there doing different things, and don't forget, if you meet seniors out there as well, be gracious. Be gracious with your time. Nowadays people don't say good morning anymore. We're so busy. Every time you see someone, it's like, hey, they come in the elevators or they walk. Nobody have time. They're so busy on their devices. Yeah, that they don't have time. They bump into you, and you probably bump into them, because we're so busy. What are we busy doing, really? I keep asking myself, where are we heading? What's it all about? We're so busy, at the end of the day, you end up stressed. This is the first time in a long time I see so many young people that are stressed, because we did not take the time. We have to live one day at a time, I know there are things we have to put out on our calendar. Next week I've got this, but enjoy today. Every last moment of today. Because today is important. It's important to enjoy today, because today is yours and mine. We're given it for whatever the hours are. So enjoy it. Enjoy today. Okay? Today is most important, of maximum importance. Today. And also, it's springtime. Get your Gem FM gear. Gem FM has a lot of gear. Tune in and support us with your new gear. Support us financially. I'm sure that you will get your receipts for tax deductions. And it's important. Tax deductions are good, because it brings back some extra money into your pocket. And inside you feel good, because you've done a little bit of charity here and there. It doesn't have to be that much. Every little helps. Okay. And as I'm drinking water, drink a lot of water. It cleans your system right through and through. Because spring is for cleaning and rejuvenation. And it's like the new skin on the body, new things, a new day, all the excitement of having the sun rising in the morning, and you're able to open the windows, or be outside, going out without a coat. Although you still have to carry a little sweater, because the evenings always get chilly in North America. And, for those purposes, just in case the rainfall or something happened, I don't know what the weather will be doing in this time. Any old thing, so that we can always be prepared. Okay. So if there's anything that we need to know on Gem FM, and don't forget charity. I'm not sure if we're doing charity in the sense that we can drop off stuff for people, but If you have it in thoughts, just let us know. Gem FM Genesis Magazine, and you get in touch with us. Send us a quick hello. Facebook, all the other mediums that you can find us. Leave a message, leave a comment, so that when they check the comments, we're able to see what interests you most on our programs. Where do you have to go? What you want to hear, what you need to hear, and what benefits you. So let us know. It is a medium to get there, to do this, to do that. And so let us do it together as a team of people, a community that is unified and united. And as I heard the Prime Minister saying that last night at the opening of our 2023 convention in Ottawa, that he thanks the grassroots, you and I, that give our time to serve, give our time to be part of elections, that give our time, making calls to those who are members, registered members of the Liberal Party, and to find out how they're going, and get an update on them, and also to ask their support, continual support, because I was reading some of the comments today on what was it? I can't remember which medium, which was Facebook. I think it's Facebook. And a lot of people, the comments basically are like this. They comment about what's happening, what the opposition is saying, but who is doing this and who is doing that. But what you don't realize is this: in order to run for public office, it is not an easy job. It's a lot of work. So when people vote for you and they put you in there, you, the person, has a great responsibility. But you, the citizen, has a great responsibility as well to understand how it works. It's not by the fly of what we say, things happen. Because you have to do surveys, you've got to check in the grassroots areas. Our Prime Minister has been going to all the different communities and having his meetings. People say, "Oh, I didn't hear about it." Sometimes, you know what? We spend so much time complaining, we don't pay attention to the medium that will send us the messages to engage us, to find out what's next. And some of us, we don't want to vote because, well, no party is good. Let's look in the mirror. Are you good enough to vote? Then go out and vote. If you consider yourself good, then you should be participating in the country. Whether your shelter is short, funded, or whatever the case may be, but you have to look at the responsibility. Like Michael Jackson said, let's look at the man in the mirror. Look at the man in the mirror. It doesn't begin with the party. It doesn't begin with leadership. It doesn't begin alone with the parents. It's also the person that's voicing their opinions in the mirror. So mirror yourself when you're thinking of something and see, what are my options? Have I been utilizing them? Weigh and balance the scales of life to see where you're at. And before you blame, check and see what percentage belongs to you and how and why you're either satisfied or dissatisfied. You only have to look in the mirror. It doesn't take anything more than that. So that's why I said, people says justice. Justice is in the mirror. Things happen to us and we have no control of. And some of us, when we get involved in things, we don't want to look in the mirror. You want to look to the left, look to the right, go, look behind us, look down, look up. Yeah, yes. Gotta see what it is about you and me, what it is about me that's causing me to fail. It's causing me to stress, causing me anger. What it is in me. Is my health poor because of poor management? Yeah, look in the mirror. And the answer is there. Do I get enough sleep? Why am I irritable? Why am I dissatisfied? Why am I angry? So, do some spring cleaning. Clean up the body, the mind, the spirit, the soul. And start infusing in it the right things so that the results will be positive. And you can look back and say, you know, I made some good choices. And have received some positive results. And it continues. Because if you keep it up, you think the child that has get or responds, it's what taking their education seriously and receives 10 plus, 50 plus opportunities for universities around the world, did it by, you know, blaming this one, blaming that, blaming everything around them. No, they did it by application. They apply themselves, they understand the mechanisms of having a good education, of understanding how the world works. These are some of the things. You see, when we spend our time with our devices, what are we looking at? Just social media? What's there to learn on social media? Unless you're going into a definite program on social media. What is there? So let's do some spring cleaning in our lives, on our relationships, why they fail. Did I get counseling? Did I adhere to the counseling? Did I not get counseling? Why not? Did I read the word and hear what the word says? It's all there. The word has everything, you know. Everything we thought about came from the word. The word. This book is amazing good. Most don't like it because it tells them about the man in the mirror. Okay. And you know, we don't want to face that. We want someone to say, it's okay to do what you're doing. It's okay to behave that way. Why not? That's how we are. Spring cleaning, getting gear. We're heading on the right lane, but you always end up on the left lane. People tooting their horns at us all the time to get out of the way because we're not paying attention to the man in the mirror. Let's pay attention. Take a good look at yourself in the mirror. What do you see? Well, for me, I see God's child, His grace, and a few decades of His love on me. I still smile. I still laugh. I still cry. I'm still concerned. Listen, I can get angry too, you know. But when I think of anger, I put in my anger back to whom it belongs. I look at the man in the mirror. I say, hey, why do you allow people to make you mad? No, no. It is not in my DNA to get mad with anybody. Even if it's there, I put it under that amazing, righteous blood of Christ and leave it there. Because when you put it there, it will drown to the bottom of the ocean and you will rise up. So I rise up with the goodness of amazing God. He is my strength from day to day. Don't say I don't have pain and, aches and pains. And don't forget, I'm not 40 and I'm not 50. Well, you can see that. But I'm way past 60. Isn't God amazing? So when I look in the mirror, I give God thanks for the many decades He has kept me on this earth for purpose. And I try my best to empower those I see through my mirror. To let you understand that life is a stage and it's a game. You have to know how to play it. Game of life and how to play it. You read that book, you learn a lot. I was given it by my grandfather many, many years ago, and I read it. And I read it again. I actually sent it off to a pastor friend, and I said, read this book. Life is a game. You must know how to play life. So wake up from the sleep, your slumber, your place that you are in the mirror, look in the mirror and see what you see. Frustration, hesitation, incapabilities, self-destruction. Do some spring cleaning of the temple, this temple, and see. You could even jot them down and do something with them. I know recently we had a mental illness symposium on GEM FM. I want to say something. It was a good symposium. Minister John Callis sent me a quick thing to look at it. I had jumped in on it before, but then he sent me the one from GEM. And I want to say to you, mental illness, as we have today, it's not just what we see. Mental illness affects us and our loved ones in different ways. Every one of us, every human being is at the threshold of mental illness. Because it's easy to go from being the person in the mirror to someone that doesn't know themselves. That's someone that is overstressed. It's the fine line. It's like the line of a thread. It's easy to cross the threshold. And I'm saying this from a place that maybe not too many people know. In 1979, 78, 79, I ran a home in Montreal, okay, called Maison Abba. That's what I named it, for the Bible Way Pentecostal Church in Longueuil. And the Ville Marie services in Montreal, because the church had bought a property to build, and on the property was a little old home, and they didn't know what to do with it. And lo and behold, God sent me to Montreal with my husband because his company needed him at the head office there. And I was staying home at that time because I left Belle from Toronto to go to Montreal and be a housewife for a while. And you know what? She said to me, come to visit us. And I went to Montreal on the, the island. And from the South Shore. And guess what? I saw these little huts, the little booths that you pay your tickets in. That's what it was like. You go to a parking lot and the man is in the booth. They had people in little booths like that at the time, okay? And I said to her, I said, just the space you put them in, have them crazy. If you put me in a space that is that small, even in the Caribbean one, before we have toilets in a home and the latrine is bigger than that, okay? That's how it was. To put it bluntly, we don't know mental illness. It's a big thing nowadays. And I had 9 clients from there, 9. So all they're teaching about mental illness today. Anyway, I had a great psychiatrist I worked with, Dr. Bacaflor, and you could go and look it up. He's retired. He probably passed away by now. But he and I worked well. Do you know the first sign that turned me off of mental illness? The way they would handle a human being. It's when they took those, strap them down, put these belts on them, and they give them these shocks. So they put these, ghastly. Okay. So what Daphne did was she documented them for a long period and presented to the Johns Hopkins Society in Montreal. And today, when I came back from Montreal, I was able to walk with a letter and give to the Queen Street Mental Hospital to Dr. Campbell. So the things that I do, only him can give me kudos for, because it's not my wisdom, it was his. And I did a good job for my father, not for mankind, for my father, so that he can look at mankind and realize, here, there's one of my children doing something for them. Okay? And this is not to boast, because it's not to boast about when you see your child in a mental state. Do you know, the longer you work with them, it's the more you feel like them? And I leave it at that. You need to get away from it, because it's a lot of strain. It's a lot of stress. I empathize every parent that has children or families that are going through mental illness. You know, some people have a statement, oh, they anger me to madness. You don't want to go, don't even use it. You don't want to go there, because the threshold is so thin, okay? It's almost like a whisper. 1 second you're here and the other, you're gone over there. So be calm and keep your mind stayed on positive things. Feed your body with healthy things as much as possible, because this brain needs all the help it can get positively so that you can live effectively in this life. So today, I am glad that mental illness is out there. As a matter of fact, when I came back, I was taken to the Donwood Institute, where all the rich and famous can go and get help. And that's not the only one. Yeah, I was taken to 2 of them. But today, when I look back on it, I said, you know, this little girl that came from small island of Trinidad and Tobago, ancestor of Africans, was able to accomplish a fait accompli, as the French would say, that's greater than anything That was God-given grace. And you know what? I thank him for it because he blessed me. It was one of my blessings. So what I do and what I receive in my life, I am more than grateful for. Because the God that I serve, he's an amazing God. If he can do it for me, he will do it for you. Because you know what? All these experiences humbled me and kept me humble. Because what am I boasting about? The capabilities of my Father in me? Can't boast about those things. Just give thanks and smile, and ask him to just continue to bless me. Just bless me. Keep me simple. Keep me smiling. Because I love him dearly. I cannot express the experiences I've had because of him. So you know what? Do some spring cleaning and ask the Lord to put new amazing things in your life. Well, the best is yet to come. Don't frustrate. Don't stress. When you get a stress, take it to the Lord. He has something there to take it away from you. It's an empowerment. So be thankful. You see, Gem FM had the expressed excellent opportunity of a lifetime to host a mental health project. That's a blessing. So give thanks. Give thanks for the opportunity that Gem FM is giving. God is doing amazing things over Gem FM. And you know what? I'm glad I have a small part in it. I appreciate it. And I'm glad I accepted it. So, and today as I'm talking, our beloved sister, what's her first name? Brother John's cousin in Grenada. She used to be on a program that used to pop in every so often. But she's also a Khalees. So hello. My thoughts are with you right now, wherever you are in Grenada. You just run through my mind. So blessings over there from here today, from me to you through the Almighty. So friends, it is not anything good, amazing that I have ever done. To have gone through the journey of life that I have, this was all because of the almighty grace of Almighty God. Okay? Nothing more, nothing less. Because, when you're not fighting in court to have this pass so that you can enjoy it, it tells me something about who he is and who I am in him. Okay. So, with all that's taking place, and I know I still sit on boards, and I will continue as long as the Lord says yes, I will continue and give as much as I can to humanity, all in humility. And I'm enjoying it. I am so enjoying it. It's a blessing in disguise. I can't even count it. I can't count my blessings. There are a multitude of them. From my childhood right back to this very moment that I'm facing you. Do some spring cleaning for 2023 so that 2024, going forward, you'll be in gear. So get in gear, spring clean, plant some little flowers, buy some pots of flowers and get a bigger pot and put it in that is so that it could bloom for you for the duration of the time and bring them inside when you're done. But only buy the ones, with enough space that you don't have to be worried about. Let them grow slowly. Ask them for the ones that will grow slowly and take you to the next spring. So, Minister Nataki, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your tech. Beautiful nurse doing tech, looking after her family. God bless you. Abby girl, you'll see me soon. The weather's getting better, God willing. I will be down to see you. And Genesis. So, to the Gem FM family, I pray that we all will do our spring cleaning. And we'll get in gear for the next few months. The rest of May, June and July, because August starts getting cold, okay? And we'll be ready. And that when we see each other, that we'll be full of that love, grace, compassion, and willingness to continue serving our communities and continue to pray for each and every child out there, every single nation, especially ours where we are underserved. Keep praying and get involved. When we get involved, there's a room, there's a door for us. Please get involved. That's all I can say. Please get involved. If you want representation, you got to be involved. And that's how it works. How many tribes are there? Well, get involved. Put your tribe in so that all will be well. But I hope spring is blooming in your home, in your heart, in your lives. Have a great one, Brother John, Minister John, and the Gem FM family from Community Dateline. Minister Merle and your family and all the families and all the viewers. Blessings every day from the Almighty. Have a great one. Bye for now. See you soon.